I've seen bodybuilders who give absolutely nothing to functionality. They're useless. Just big dummy dudes, like they can hardly walk for long distances, let alone jog for any sort of distance at all. It's the easiest place where you can work hard. There's not much technique there. And if people act like there is, well then it's kind of ridiculous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Yap God Telly is here again. And I asked you guys on a community post on YouTube what I should yap about, because it's been a while since we've been to Yap Town, as we all know that I am the mayor of. And you guys gave me some really good suggestions. So we're going to go over those of what I should yap about. But first, today's video is sponsored by Transparent Labs. I want to show you guys what I take before every workout.
Cocainum. 5
to 7 days a week. Right here, this is bulk. This is their pre-workout. And then I stack that with creatine HMB. And then post-workout, I just take their grass-fed whey isolate. Now, the cool thing about this whey product they have, it's 4 ingredients. Grass-fed whey protein isolate, natural flavors, stevia extract, sodium chloride. No fillers, nothing really, no unnatural additives. Go check it out. Check out the link in the description. Use code Zach at checkout. Again, guys, it's Transparent Labs, some of the best stuff on the market. Now, the top voted on thing here was, how did medieval banks perform authentication?
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Okay, AI overview here. I guess it's a pretty cool feature. Medieval banks used a variety of methods to verify information and authenticate transactions, including cut documents. To prove authenticity, a document would be cut in half in an irregular pattern, and the two halves would be brought together. Cool. Branch managers would know each other well and be able to recognize each other's handwriting. Cool. Trusted messengers. Banks would use trusted messengers to travel between branches to update account information and then bills of exchange. Merchants would send an informal letter to their agent/banker in another city to request payment on their behalf. There you go. I learned something new today. All right, let's get to the good stuff here. Why, with everything on the internet, people still have form in the gym? The core concepts of a movement are blurry. So for instance, in the back squat, what are the core concepts that we think about? Chest up, brace, and squat. That's like the general knowledge that everyone has. That's the cueing that they think when they go into the back squat. But the actual core concepts and positions of the squat, I believe to be much different than that. So the way that I teach the back squat, which you guys are seeing, is, okay, there's an end position here. I would personally like to have the hip crease below the knee crease with good posture, you know, that quote unquote chest up cue. And that's what we're looking for. So the bottom position is what we want, as well as, you know, standing up and everything through that. But that's kind of it, really. There's standing and there's bottom. And when you get a new person into the gym, they know the core concepts that we talked about before that aren't really important. Chest up and squat. And then you get dog shit form, and you get quarter squatting, and you get ego lifting, right? When in all reality, they should have just learned how to just sit, how to exist in the bottom position of a good squat. Because if they can't do that, how are they going to be able to add weight? You know, and everyone in the gym just does a barbell with 20 kilos on both sides, or 45 pounds on each side, 135 pounds or 60 kilos. And they just think chest up, bend the knees. And they end up with this really, really bad technique on the squat. So the core concept is blurry there. So people don't know how to attack this. And that's what I try to do with every movement that I've taught on this platform. Okay. If you guys want any technical stuff, go to my playlist that says technique videos. I have like so many there. And that's always been the value that I have. It's like trying to understand exactly what those core concepts, what those keys are in the movement, and just blast them. And blast them and blast them. And then the person, usually within the session, is squatting or deadlifting or pressing or whatever better than they have before. The second reason I think is this lack of care. there's certain people who go into the gym because they see it in movies, they see it in TV, they see their friends going and they think, well, I kind of got to go to the gym. And when you kind of got to go to the gym, certain movements you can't just kind of do. You gotta want to squat. You have to want to deadlift. You have to want to improve on these lifts, both technically and with effort. And you have to like go home and like appreciate good squatting and good lifting and like want to do it and can't wake up, like can't wait till work gets out so you can take your pre-workout or before work or whenever to take your pre-workout and go to the gym. Like that excites you. And that's that lack of care. And I think, you know, for some of these people who just feel like they have to go to the gym, they haven't quite gamified the gym yet. They haven't been excited about it. Like we gamify our work sometimes. We're like, well, money are the points. Let's get some points. You know, pounds are the points in the gym. Let's get some points. Like gamify, have fun with it. So that's reason number 2. And I think reason number 3 is ego. Okay. And that's ultimately like a thing that we have to worry about is people just wanting to lift heavier than they should, but they don't actually know that they're lifting too much weight. Because like I said in the squat, if you're doing a quarter squat with your chest up and your ass out, you're not actually squatting. And so when you see someone, they're like, wow, I just did, you know, a squat and it wasn't a squat. I can do 225. And then they do the same thing. Quarter squat with the ass out. Oh my God, I can do 315. I can do 405. And then you see people and you go, dude, your technique is shit. It's dog shit. And people will go, oh, that's because they have an ego. It's like, well, they do have an ego, but it kind of loops back into lack of care. They don't know what an actual squat looks like. They don't know. They've never felt it either. And so this is going to loop into one more question. Actually, there's 2 more, but it kind of deals with this aesthetic over quote unquote function. And this question is how some, basically, what do you want me to yap about? He said, how some gym goers have started to appreciate the aesthetic appeal of exercise execution more than the weight being moved. And yeah, that's cool. Like it seems like a lot of people are commenting like, wow, your technique's so good, your form's good. But again, I think if you look at bodybuilding, it's the easiest place where you can work hard and not have to really dive super deep into, and you can still kind of have that lack of care. And a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, that's why bodybuilding is the best. That's why I love to do bodybuilding training, which is like get on a machine and do 20 reps and get on another machine and, just try to put blood flow in your muscle. That's what I'm calling bodybuilding training. You can call it hypertrophy training. And I love it, but it is a place where you can have kind of a lack of care and do a lat pull down. There's not much technique there. And if people act like there is, well, then it's kind of ridiculous. A curl machine, like sitting on the preacher curl machine and doing a bicep curl. There's not much skill involved there. And so you can push very hard while doing that. But I think it's worthwhile to care and to be like, I don't know, I want to be able to back squat more and with really good technique. I think it's worthwhile, me personally. A lot of people on the internet don't seem to think so. And so this does lead into, because we talk about functionality or bodybuilding, all of that. And this person's request is, does functional fitness mean anything for a 25-year-old when most people work at a desk and carry groceries? I hate being ragged on for only caring about aesthetics for my lifting. Bodybuilding training will make you strong enough for any normal life. Also, where do you stand on Vivek betraying Indoril Nerovar at Red Mountain? Was this warranted? Is it bad that I don't know this? This is something Alex knows. I'm sure there's something on the green screen back here. Is this Lord of the Rings? I don't know. Like Indoril Nerovar sounds like a Lord of the Rings thing. God, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about this first part of the question here. Functional fitness is a very silly term thrown around by charlatans, but it does have some meaning, right? I see functional fitness in quite a lot of places. I saw a woman try to, her baby was in a carriage and it was on a table, but it was like she had to really leverage her body in to get the carriage off of the table rather than just kind of being able to pull the baby off. Right? Baby was anywhere from like 10 pounds plus the carriage. It was an awkward thing for her. It's a really hard thing. I see that as functional strength. And that can be so many different things. I went hauling hay when I was back in College Station, Texas. I was hauling hay. Man, if you don't have functional strength to pick up a 70-pound hay bale 300 times, like you're not going to have a good time. So functional strength and functional fitness, that means things. But a lot of guys will say, oh, where do you see this running back, the moves that he's making? Where do you see a back squat fitting in? It's not functional. It's just people who, they want to strip every ounce of nuance, give you absolutes, and tell you that their methodology is better. That I'm not going to go into names, which I always do on this channel. I will go into names later, but that's what we're getting at. And so this guy's question basically being like, I only care about aesthetics. Well, by way of only caring about aesthetics, like what athleticism and functionality are you able to garner? So I've seen bodybuilders who give absolutely nothing to functionality, and they're useless. They're useless. They're just big dummy dudes like who can't move well, who can't rotate. They can hardly walk for long distances, let alone jog for any sort of distance at all. Functional fitness has a lot of value, but you can have a bias towards looking better. There's absolutely no issue. That's why we're here. That's why we're in, a reason why we're in the fitness space was to look better. So look, in closing, right? How do we have better form in the gym? You basically have to kind of break down these movements like that squat. You check out those squat videos that I've done, right? And try and understand training in that way. And also, like, you guys are on YouTube, so like if I want to learn bench technique, I can go on YouTube and learn bench technique. Right? If you want to learn snatch, clean, and jerk, go to Zach Tellender's page. He's got some good stuff. But yeah, I think, again, the lack of care. It's just that simple. People feel like they have to go to the gym. And when they do go to the gym, they kind of dread it. And then they don't know what they're doing. And so now you're in a place that you dread. You don't know what you're doing. Why would you go back there? And then when you're lifting, you're like, you kind of want to hang with the dogs. So you lift a little bit heavier and your ego comes in place. And now you're lifting as shit. To change those things, it's likely that you guys don't have to do that because you're on fitness YouTube and you're watching this. You're watching some dude yap about fitness as you have your meal, and then you digest for an hour and then you take your pre-workout, or you're taking your pre-workout and you're about to go work out. I don't know. Either way. Okay. That's enough yapping for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Love you so much. Bye.